Good morning and welcome to Wellness Wednesday on Mornings with Luann and Tim. He just said
Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I was happy because we're halfway there.
Yeah, we're halfway there, peeps.
Yay.
Just hang on. Thank you so much to KC Security for sponsoring the morning show with Luann and Tim all month long. We certainly appreciate it. Daniel, Nathan, we love you guys.
Thanks for keeping our community safe, Daniel and Nathan.
Hey, did you hear what happened to Miley Cyrus?
No.
It was actually uncomfortable to watch. It was a couple of days ago. She was in Barcelona, and she was walking some kind of carpet, and she was just behind her husband, just like this probably, and some dude came and enveloped her and kissed her on the cheek, and she just you can see her. Oh God, it was so uncomfortable. I felt so badly for her. Well, so immediately tons of people went like this, and he didn't know.
Who? The husband.
The husband.
He was slightly ahead.
Yeah, and I guess she said something to him, so he put his arm back and hugged her, and they kept going. Boy, it's got to be hard.
What happened to that guy?
I don't know.
Was you?
I don't know.
Why do people think that they,
Right? They think that they can just, honestly, he was on her. It was gross. It was, like I said, it was uncomfortable to watch. She felt so
violated.
Well, and you know what? You're like, the people are here, and obviously she's somewhat used to that because she's Miley Cyrus, and but that sort of, there's always that one step and you're over it. The line is there and you just jump.
Don't cross the line.
Don't cross the line.
If you see him in the grocery store, don't try and kiss me on the cheek.
No.
Jennifer,
I'll punch you.
Similar.
You will.
No, I won't. Actually, I'll probably kiss you back. Similar story.
What?
Well, kind of not really. Jennifer Aniston was being interviewed, and they were talking about Friends and stuff, right?
Yes.
And having possibly a reunion and stuff. So she told a story about James Burrows. He was the director of how many episodes of Friends.
Right.
So they were filming, they'd already been cast, they were already filming, but it hadn't been aired yet. So Friends had not hit the airwaves yet.
Oh, so this is a long time ago.
James Burrows had a feeling, because he knew TV. I mean, how many hits, Cheers, how many shows that James Burrows had that were winners, and he knew this one was going to take. So he concocted a trip for the cast to go to Vegas together.
Oh.
And they're flying to Vegas, and basically what he said was, show business and fame can be a really dark and scary place sometimes. And you guys are going to hit, and your lives are not going to be the same. So y'all need to look out for each other and take care of each other.
Wow.
And you probably will never experience the kind of anonymity that you now have ever again in your lives. So here's $100 each. Go into a casino, have fun, and say goodbye to the ability to do this ever again.
Really?
And she said he was absolutely right. It was the last time as a cast they were ever to go anywhere without being recognized.
Isn't that interesting?
They were kids.
Yeah, they were. But now they're multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
Seriously, they were kids, but they did it properly, I feel like.
Except, what's his, he had a hard time. Who was the one? That
Chandler.
guy. Chandler, whatever his name is now. I can't remember his name.
I want to say Jason Bateman, but that's not who it is.
Anyway, but I think his addiction, his opioid or whatever, his drug use came from pain, I think. Didn't he start?
Initially started with
painkillers.
And then he just got used to the buzz, I guess. And
Matthew. Is his first name Matthew? I don't know. Isn't that funny? Well, okay, there they all are.
The guy on the right there, too.
Yeah, so that's funny. Chandler
was his name. Oh my gosh.
That's funny. We don't know his name.
Good.
Luann, we're old.
No, you're old. You guys know the Property Brothers? They're
are they twins? They're twins.
Yeah, they're twins.
Okay.
And seriously, could they do one more show? I think they've got 18 on the go right now, but they are doing another one, and it's called Forever Home. This is lovely, though, because what they're doing is they're obviously very well known for renovations and flipping houses and that sort of thing. They are now going into seniors who are still living in their homes.
Well, there they are.
they're going to redo and modernize a senior's home
That's cool.
as a present to them.
That's cool.
Isn't that wonderful? My mother's name is Eunice Boursier. She lives in Espanola.
Come on up, Property Brothers.
She needs a lot of help.
That's really neat.
Isn't that cool?
That is the ideal. We want people to stay in their homes
Right?
as long as possible
And they're
because
staying healthier and stronger.
there's no beds in long-term care for anybody. So you might as well
Don't get
stay
sick.
home.
Don't get sick.
Modernize the home, make it
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
'Cause a
And,
lot
and
of-
rejive things, as they need it.
Make it easy to
They
reach
put those
things
handles in the showers and stuff like that. Those lifts on
Probably
the chairs.
fix the
and-
kitchen so that it's
Yes,
more safe
right?
and easily accessible and stuff
if
like
you're
that.
using a walker now or a cane,
Right.
so they're adjusting to all that. I think
Widen your
that's
doors.
awesome.
I think so too.
it's
Good for
lovely.
them. And his name was Matthew Perry, wasn't it?
Matthew Perry, you're right.
Thank you.
Good for you.
The whole time you were telling that story, I was looking at you going, what the heck was his name?
What's his name?
But I was kind of
What's
paying
his name?
attention.
Matthew Perry.
Trudeau's gone to England. I did not
didn't
know that.
realize he
So
was
how come
going.
when Trump goes to England, it's a whole big boo doo 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 doo?
Because it was
It's a state visit.
Yeah, it was a state visit.
And Trudeau's just gone there for D-Day?
Yes.
D-Day was when they stormed the beaches of Normandy and all the Allies got together and there was that the final takedown of the Nazis?
Yeah, that was a big one.
A lot of people
Lots
died.
of people died.
Because
Lots of people.
basically they just got out of boats and they went and they're
Yeah, it was almost like it was a massacre. It was almost like it was set
the
up.
beaches of Normandy.
It was just like when they came, they weren't even out of the water. And
they weren't.
they were dying,
and they knew though. They knew they were walking.
Yeah.
Into it. Like imagine loving
and,
your country
and
that much.
people talk about
There
how
they
the
are on
water
beaches.
was red with blood, and it just
They
sounds
loved
horrific.
democracy so much. Those guys, they all fought for the world.
did
They
it.
fought for the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, there's a local gentleman I think that is going back.
He's 90. Is he 96?
I think 96, and he says I got to go back because
he was there,
pretty soon I won't be able to.
and he's flying. He's flying
Isn't
back
that awesome?
to go. Oh my gosh. Oh, I guess
That
he's
would
there
be
now.
emotional.
He must be there now.
Yeah, I would imagine that he's there now. And a lot of the veterans have gone back because this is
It's the 75th anniversary.
Imagine, I was watching because as you go through news clips and stuff for a newscast, the sources always have stories, for instance, and of whatever is happening. In this anniversary, they have an awful lot of actual interviews with the vets, and it's just so unimaginable for us that I think every person my age and younger should watch and understand these men and women have still effects from that war every single day. Every day.
They didn't even know what PTSD was.
No.
I mean, we're talking 75 years ago.
Well, it's like blow it off. It's like when you break a leg and playing baseball and somebody says, yeah, walk it off.
I wonder where the Trudeaus are staying. Do you think
An
they're in the-
Airbnb.
Do you think they're in the Super 8 with the Trumps?
I think so.
Because there was
probably.
did you hear the story about there's no room at the inn?
No, I didn't hear that.
Buckingham Palace?
There's no room?
Buckingham Palace has 775 rooms. 52 of those rooms were royal and guest bedrooms, but they said that they've been under renovation since 2016. And so, sorry, Donald and Melania, you can't stay in the palace.
Seriously?
I'm serious.
This is a state visit and they can't even stay
They
there?
can't stay.
Where are they staying? Do you know?
The Super 8. I have no idea where they're
Super
staying.
8. Wow.
They're at a bed and breakfast. I don't know where
They're
they
at a
are.
hostel.
Yeah.
And he's even more hostile.
There's the palace, and there's no room.
There's no room for you. Sorry.
All the rooms are under renovation. All
I bring my 5-star
all-
sleep in the lobby.
all 52 bedrooms are under renovation.
That's a little
no
embarrassing,
room for,
no?
They wouldn't have them there.
I mean, my gosh, maybe she just was
Well.
pretending to like him. Because she's been very hospitable.
Well, she's the queen.
Yes.
She's always hospitable.
Well, yes, but she,
That's what she does.
She can fake it. But she seems to like really
She can
kind of
fake
get
it.
a giggle out of him.
Did you watch that miniseries, The Queen?
No.
Oh,
no,
it
I
was
didn't.
brilliant.
Yeah, was
Is
it
it
one
coming
time?
back? Oh no, it was called The Crown. Sorry.
Crown, yes.
Well, there was another one called The Queen, and that was what's her name. Anyway, no, The Crown was brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it's coming back.
Hey, Dr. Ruth.
What about her?
She was on Ellen
Dr. Ruth
recently.
this time, Dr. Ruth. Have good sex with Dr. Ruth.
Said 50 Shades can help couples in the bedroom.
50 Shades of Grey?
50 Shades. And when I first read the headline, I thought it said filthy shades. And I'm like, Ew, how can 50 shades make your sex life better? But she said 50 shades.
50 shades.
50
No, I can't do her accent.
shades. Yes.
Dr. Ruth.
She's around doing the circuit because she's on a birthday run. And boy, I'll tell you.
How old? She's got to be in her 80s.
She talks about the fact that she is so vocal because her parents were victims of a prisoner of war camp. And she learned very early on to speak your mind. So
Speak your mind.
yeah, they died, and she said, because they died, they made me who I am. Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth.
It's not Filthy Blinds, it's 50 Shades.
50 shades. Hey, okay.
Oh.
It's Wellness Wednesday. We're going to listen. Okay, I've got people coming in now. Charles Shamus and Allison from Algoma Public Health are here from the drug strategy.
Yes, this is awesome.
So they got some they've got the results from the drug strategy program, and they're talking about what the next steps are.
Yeah.
So that's coming up, and Luann has the news and much more on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Don't go anywhere.
With 3 brands to choose from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and CF Moto, visit one of our 4 showrooms today and speak with our knowledgeable, friendly, and enthusiastic staff who will be happy to help you with all of your motorsports needs.
Enjoy life, enjoy the ride. Bud Robinson Motorsports.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim. So I've got Allison McFarland and I've got Charles Shamus here joining us live in the studio. Here behind us, the Sault Ste. Marie area drug strategy. How many years has this been in the works now? 1.5 years, so what?
So the drug strategy itself has been in place for about 6 years now.
6 years?
Yeah, so and then over the last 1.5 years we've been working on this report.
This particular report's 1.5 years, but the strategy program's been in place for 6 years.
Yep.
All kinds of community partners involved in this one. How many?
There's about 32 agencies and programs, including the hospital, Algoma Family Services, Algoma Public Health, CMHA, Garden River First Nation, Indian Friendship Center, Nagda-Windaman.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
So is this unique then to have all of these agencies now working on the at the table together? Is that sort of?
Well, it's unique now for the Sioux, but drug strategies around the province have been in place for, well, Toronto's is almost 15 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
And so pretty much every area of the province has a drug strategy, bringing together these agencies which generally have worked separately around the issues around substance use. Drug strategies bring them together to try to solve these problems. And so in the Sioux, it's been about 6 years that they've been coming together.
APH has always had strong partnerships with Algoma Family Services and with the Indian Friendship Center and all those other, and CMHA. So has it broadened? Has the scope of partnerships broadened over this?
Definitely.
Definitely, right? And also you've got some new partners too, don't you?
Yeah, so we have we went from about 18 agencies to now almost 32.
Almost 32.
In the last 3 months.
So it's not even a matter of duplicating services, because that has to happen. I mean, you have to have different agencies doing the same thing at different levels,
yes,
right?
And with different people.
It's just a matter of sharing the information,
Absolutely,
correct?
yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
what are
and
we...
also,
yes.
if you don't mind, also coordinating our services, because one of the things that agencies, you know, they tend to end up working by themselves, and when you bring them together and you talk about, now you're doing your outreach to this community and we're doing our reach at this time to this community, how can we better coordinate that so that we're reaching more people, bringing more people into services, and decreasing the harms associated with substance use.
Okay, let's talk about the results of the report. What, Allison, go ahead.
Yeah, so after all the research was done and interviews were done with service providers and people who are using substances, we came up with about 60 recommendations.
60.
And then narrowed it down into 11 priorities.
Okay.
So those priorities include things like increasing access to services, so reducing wait times, expanding the hours of operation, because most services are only available like 8 to 4, which doesn't always work.
No, because when I was doing drugs, I wasn't doing them between 8 to 4. I was doing them between like 2 in the morning and 10 in the morning.
Right. Yeah. And that's a huge, when we did those interviews, that was a huge thing that people were saying is, you know, yeah, the services are there, but they're not there when we need them. So that's one of our priorities, increasing youth access or youth services. So trying to come up with a community plan, if you will, for decreasing substance use initiation in youth, reducing stigma and discrimination related to substance use, because that's a huge barrier for people actually accessing services if they're there. So, and then like Charles said, coordinating all of the service providers so that we are reaching more broadly.
Right, right.
And all of this is happening in the middle of a poisoning crisis. So the opioid supply and other drugs are being poisoned with other drugs, so people don't know what they're taking. And so we have a huge problem with people overdosing and dying, both in this community and really across the province. And so it's imperative that we get more have people have more naloxone so they can prevent the death, but also get to more people so that they can get themselves into treatment, and treatment quicker, because one of the problems we have also is the wait time, and the fact that in this community we don't have proper access to the kinds of medically supervised withdrawal management that we need. So hence why the level 3 program at the Sault Area Hospital is really necessary in this community, because we don't have one in the north at all. And it's many people, their substance use issues are so problematic they need much longer than a 7-day stay in withdrawal.
Absolutely. Yeah, you need like your 28 days, your 6 months, your 1 year. Those are the programs you're looking at, and we don't have those here.
Yeah.
But it's all about funding, though, isn't it? So is this what you advocate for? Are you're
of course.
Is that part of the?
Part of my job is to try to find funds. So funds both on a project basis, and then of course like advocating for the level 3 withdrawal management program. That's a much bigger thing. That's at a ministry level and a provincial level. But there are things that we can do locally. In fact, one of the things that we can do is by bringing agencies together is talk about how we can share our services, share programs more, so that without adding more money, we can find ways to leverage each agency's capacities and staff to increase access without adding more money at this point.
So it's about time management, basically.
It's a strategy, right?
It is. It's a strategy.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the next steps for us as a community then, according to the?
So right now we're...
you mentioned the 11 priorities, but how do we move forward?
So we're actually working on a work plan. There's a few of us on the strategy that are working on this, looking at all of our recommendations and priorities and seeing what we've already managed to accomplish over the last year, and then what is most tangible right now, and kind of go that way. So we're going to find those little things that might not necessarily need X amount of funding, but that we can tackle that'll make a big difference.
So two examples. One is we're having a meeting in a couple of weeks of the outreach workers in the city, including the police court team, the John Howard Society, Algoma Public Health, the nurses who work at the needle exchange program, CMHA, frontline workers, bringing them together to say, okay, we're all working with the same people. How can we tweak our schedules, tweak the work that we do, and increase education for those folks about hepatitis C, because we have an increasing problem with hepatitis C in this community, whereas the province has a decreasing rate of hep C.
And hep C in Algoma is going up?
Is going up, yeah, and it's a significant problem. And the great thing about it is that hep C can be cured, so you can get treated and cured.
That's dirty needles?
Yes, it's sharing drug using equipment. The second thing that we're doing, I was on the phone yesterday with some folks from Iceland, is we're looking at bringing a prevention model to the community that will be owned by the community.
Did you say Iceland?
Iceland has done a terrific job in the last 20 years in reducing the time at which you start using substances and the number of times they're intoxicated in the year, the number of kids who are smoking tobacco and smoking cannabis. In the last 20 years, they've gone from about a 45% rate of kids, of youth 15 and 16 using, down to 4%.
From 45 to 4?
Yes, and they have taken this model. It's now called Planet Youth. If you want to look up Planet Youth, you'll see it's actually being adopted around the world. Chile just adopted it as a country. So I was on the phone with these folks from Iceland, asking them about how we could bring it to this community. And in the next couple of weeks, I hope to have more of an idea of what that would cost. It involves having parents involved, schools involved, and the larger community, and all the service providers that sit around the drug strategy table, to divert youth into recreation, arts programming, etc., so that they're not getting pressure from peers to start smoking tobacco, start smoking
If I'm not mistaken, the number one reason that teens turn to substances is boredom.
Yes.
Am I correct about that? That was always the stat that I'd heard, was boredom.
And peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
And the more, there's an interesting thing that they've learned in Iceland, that parenting is not about quality time, it's about quantity time. That the more time the kid spends with their parent, assuming the parent is appropriate to be with, but the more time they spend with parents, the healthier they end up being. And the less likely they are to use substances or to get intoxicated, etc. So this prevention plan works, and I'm very much hoping. So those are two specific examples, bringing together the outreach workers and developing a prevention plan for the community, including Garden River and Batchewana.
That upstream education too, making sure the kids understand.
Well, and what they found with the Icelandic model is that the effects of it last beyond age 18. It lasts into the adulthood, that they're using less substances.
Oh, so much work to be done.
A lot.
But thank goodness for the 32 plus agencies that are involved. I mean, you guys are taking this. I wish that more people would take it as seriously as you all are.
Yeah. Thank you. Can I say one more thing?
You go right ahead, Charles.
Is to reduce stigma and discrimination. Stigma and discrimination for people who use substances is what it was like about 30 years ago around mental illness, where we blamed people and said, well, just get over it. What's wrong with you? We still blame people who have a substance use disorder or addiction as though it's their own moral failing, like it's their problem, as opposed to a community's problem, and a medical problem. And one of the reasons that some people ask me, well, why are people continuing to use opiates when they know it might kill them? Because they have an addiction. And most people with an addiction, they're actually not getting high as much as they're not going into withdrawal, because the withdrawal from opiate addiction is profound, and that's why people need to go to hospital to do it, and be under medical care.
Our families have known each other for years, Charles.
Yes. Yeah.
And I always say, addiction doesn't discriminate.
Yes.
I grew up in a great household. I grew up with great parents. My parents did nothing wrong, but I ended up with an addiction to crack cocaine, and I went through rehab, and I relapsed, and I went back again. It can happen to anybody, and I never deserved to die or to be shamed for my illness.
Thank you so much.
I'm a good guy, and there are a lot of addicts out there who are good people.
Yes.
They have an illness, and they need help, and you guys are helping. Thanks, Allison.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charles. I really appreciate that.
A pleasure. Come back and share more.
Yes.
Sure.
I would love to have you back on the show again.
Thank you.
So, Wellness Wednesday. Stay well, get educated, and find out what you can do to help with this crisis that's going on, not only in our community, and that's another huge part of this. This isn't just Sault Ste. Marie. This is a global thing, certainly across our country.
Yeah.
The problem is Northern Ontario, we are underserviced. So thanks for doing what you do.
Thank you.
You're fighting an uphill battle, but we're with you.
Thanks.
We'll be back with Luann after this. Stay tuned.
When you support the Restore, it helps Habitat for Humanity build affordable housing for families. How does this work? New and gently used goods are donated to the Restore. The sale of these goods generate funds for building homes. For every $1 spent at the Restore, there is a $4 return on investment within our community. For example, Habitat homeowners have better educational outlook, increased employment stability, improved health, and reduction in the use of social services. Every donation and every dollar we receive through the Restore helps build sustainable housing for future homeowners. Everyone needs a foundation to build a future. To find out more and how you can help, drop by the Restore at 32 White Oak Drive or go to habitatsioux.ca.
As a nation, Canada has participated in all of the major world conflicts. In the Sioux area alone, over 10,000 men and women have enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces. The Veterans Commemorative Monument aims to cement the legacy of the Canadian Armed Forces in stone. It will highlight the bravery, strength, courage, and sacrifice of our servicemen and women. In times of need, they volunteered to serve us. Now it is our time to thank and recognize their sacrifice. You can help honor our men and women of service by donating today to help construct this special, one-of-a-kind monument. Visit thosewhoserve.ca to find out how to donate and more.
Since 1899, the Machine Shop has been a unique space for innovation and creativity. Once a leading pulp and paper company, the Machine Shop was built by Francis H. Clerg, which later became part of St. Mary's Paper in 1984. After the closure of St. Mary's Paper in 2011, the Machine Shop spent 4 years vacant. In 2015, the Machine Shop reopened their doors to the community for the first time. From weddings to galas to concerts and festivals, the one-of-a-kind venue has something for everyone. We are proud to work with the community and local nonprofits to host major events such as Festival of Trees, Pearls and Plaid, an evening at Hogwarts, and more. While you're here, wind down at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar for a quiet dining experience, or watch a game and try a wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room. Don't forget to save room for house-made gelato and baked goods at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop events, history, and restaurants, visit machineshopinc.ca. 3 great places, 1 historic venue.
Hey, remember on the show yesterday I had Algoma University here and they were talking about their environmental sciences program?
Yes, yes.
Happy World Environment Day.
Today's the day.
Today is World Environment Day and the focus this year is air pollution. Beat air pollution. That's the theme. So there's you know how they do these like Instagram, Twitter things like for
like
raising awareness campaigns. So the campaign basically is find something you can do today that will improve air quality. But while you're doing it, put on a mask and take a picture of yourself and then tweet it and saying, now I challenge you to do something. So like maybe it's, I don't know, not driving to work.
Or not talking, in my case.
Yeah, air pollution, hot air. She's burning off the ozone. Don't use, today I did not. Hey, I should have taken a picture of myself. I did not use an aerosol hairspray. I used a pump.
Oh, okay. Because I did not use Spray deodorant.
There you go. We should use pictures of ourselves. You with your pitters and
Yeah.
me with my hair.
Right.
And then we could with masks.
Yeah,
go in.
masks.
Anyway, did you know that
It's not that hard.
Here's
when you
the
think about it.
Well, it is. I
What
mean,
if you stick your nose out and take a whiff of fresh air? Does that count?
No, you want to reduce.
But can't you
Reduce air
enjoy?
pollution.
Can't you enjoy while you're reducing?
Do you know that air pollution kills 7 million people every year?
What? 7
Premature death because of air pollution. You wouldn't normally die that early.
COPDs and asthmas and all that.
Cigarette smoke and cancer in the air and stuff. Air pollution kills 7 million people every year. It hurts child development, it damages economies, and contributes to the global climate emergency. Sometimes when you hear about all this stuff, it gets kind of depressing.
Doesn't it?
So, I guess I should just push the car home today.
Yes, you should.
Okay.
Don't ask me for a ride. Or you could carpool.
Carpool!
Or you could take transit.
Or ride your bike, because that would make everybody happy, and we have great bike
And it's
lanes
good for
and
your
trails.
lungs. It'll
I'm all
clean
talk.
out. Yeah, you are.
I gotta do more about the environment. What are those green things for? We're gonna have them on the city to talk about what those new green garbage bins
They're
are.
so cool. I'm so glad we got
We
them.
don't get to use it yet, though.
I know, July.
I know. They're gonna come on the show and talk about what those are and how they work.
them. Yeah. You know
How
what?
they work.
I was feeling a bit left out. I was like, what's wrong with my neighborhood?
You never got one yet? Now
I
you have
did.
them. They're so shiny and clean.
Yeah, they are.
Anyway, be nice to the environment, because it's World Environment Day.
Plastics. I did a story in the newscast coming up. Pay attention to that one, because it's horrid. The plastic industry is making 3 times more money than the recycling people are.
That news is coming up.
It is. It's coming up.
When?
In 30 seconds.
No, the commercial's coming up in 30 seconds, and then you'll have the news.
Okay, so the commercial first.
And then the news.
And then the news.
She's new at this. It's only been 33 years. Stay with us. Luann has the news coming up next on Mornings with Luann.
And Tim.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Listen to them. Children of the night.
It's alive! It's alive!
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
The names of the victims in a fatal two-car accident Monday west of Nairn Centre on Highway 17 have been released. The driver of the westbound vehicle, 75-year-old Jacques Dandonneau, and the passenger, 73-year-old Pierrette Dandonneau, both from Kapuskasing, were pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the eastbound vehicle, 18-year-old Tyler Carter from Walden, was pronounced dead at the scene as well. A 44-year-old passenger was transported to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Highway 17 was closed in both directions for about 6 hours. The Sault OPP, City Police, and the Ministry of Transportation conducted a commercial motor vehicle initiative in the city on Monday. The initiative was to change driver and company behavior through voluntary compliance and attempt to eliminate motor vehicle collisions where factors involved equipment, cargo securement, and alcohol. 13 commercial motor vehicles inspections were conducted with 11 mandatory alcohol screening tests, 9 Highway Traffic Act charges, and 5 commercial motor vehicle out of service. Wet spring weather has pushed Lake Erie's water level to its highest point ever recorded. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said yesterday the shallowest of the Great Lakes hit the milestone in May, surpassing the previous peak set in 1986. Lake Superior also reached its highest known level for the month of May, although it has been even higher at other times of the year. Chief Watershed Hydrologist Keith Kompoltowicz says precipitation in the region last month was 21% above normal. He says Lakes Huron, Michigan, and Ontario might also set records this summer. The Corps says flooding and coastal erosion threats will continue along Great Lakes coasts, especially during storms.
In the first 100 days of a new Conservative government, I will convene a First Ministers meeting with internal trade at the very top of the agenda.
If the Conservatives win the October 21st federal election, Andrew Scheer says he'll convene a First Ministers meeting within 100 days devoted to knocking down barriers to trade among Canada's provinces. The Conservative leader says he'll also appoint an interprovincial trade minister whose sole mandate will be negotiating a free trade deal with the provinces. Scheer says he's talking about a formal, comprehensive agreement negotiated by professionals, not just a memorandum of understanding.
Our previous Conservative government made huge progress on this issue with the Canada Free Trade Agreement. However, since coming into force 2 years ago, the Liberals have done virtually nothing with it. In fact, there are 130 pages of exemptions. The Interprovincial Free Trade Agreement that we will propose will be a real free trade deal like NAFTA, like CETA, and like the TPP, and negotiated freely in the spirit of open federalism with nothing more than the basic promise of greater prosperity, bringing all parties to the table.
Assembly of First Nations National Chief Bellegarde says he's not concerned that some governments are not using the term genocide when discussing the findings of the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. On his way into a meeting with Ontario Premier Doug Ford, Perry Bellegarde says he is more focused on implementation of the report's final recommendations.
Hung up on whether or not the word genocide is used. I'd be more focused on the implementation plan on the recommendations. That's the big thing, because we really want to stop and end violence against women and girls. That's really what it's about. And I think we can get our heads around that. You'll see progress. But when you look at the definition of genocide in the UN conventions, there's 5 elements, and you just have to meet one of them. Like even forcibly removing children from homes, that happened. Inflicting pain, like forced sterilization, that happened. So it meets. So it's starting. I would just encourage all Canadians and all leaders, yes, to look at the definition of genocide, but again to focus on the next steps for implementation of the National Action Strategy for dealing with different programs, strategies, piece of legislation to end violence against women and girls.
Meanwhile, the Canadian Association of Elizabeth Fry Societies says changes the Senate wants to make to a bill on solitary confinement in Canadian prisons are in keeping with recommendations from the inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Savannah Gentile, the group's director of advocacy and legal issues, says a package of amendments to the Liberal government's Bill C-83 would be meaningful action on some of the inquiry's key findings. A Senate committee has proposed adding judicial oversight to decisions about isolating prisoners, as well as more support for inmates with mental illnesses and community-based options for rehabilitation. Gentile said without the amendments, the bill would do little to address concerns raised in the inquiry report about the overrepresentation of Indigenous people and especially Indigenous women in Canadian prisons and jails. One key amendment proposed by the Senate committee would add a requirement for a judge's approval to keep an inmate in isolation for more than 48 hours. Gentile said giving judges the authority to review placements of prisoners in isolation would have a major impact on Indigenous women in prisons. Midler is in trouble.
Oh,
She's in trouble.
I saw. What is she?
She shared on a fake quote that she attributed to Donald Trump.
This was a quote from supposedly from People magazine.
Right. And the quote was, "Republicans are the dumbest group of voters in the country." That was supposedly said by Donald Trump
when he was a Democrat
in 1998.
Because he used to be a Democrat.
He used to be. So it turned out that somebody proved that it was not him who said it, or that wasn't the quote.
No, and you know, Luann,
and I hate it because she had to apologize to him. Oh.
Here's the deal.
He called her after her After her apology, he tweets right back at her, "Yeah, she's a washed up psycho."
The president of the United States.
And then in his tweet says, "Your great president," and he put it in quotes, "Your great president would never have said that because you haven't said a bazillion other stupid things." Seriously?
But here's the deal, Bet. I wish you'd have called me. We all knew that People magazine thing was fake. It came out during his campaign, and right away, as soon as somebody put it up, everybody pounced on it and said, "That's not true, that's a false," and it was like Snopes, you know how you go to Snopes and you look stuff up? It was completely, everybody knew. How did Bet miss that? She missed that.
And she said, "I missed it."
She missed it. She didn't know that it was totally a fake thing, and now she's in trouble, and she made, Bet. I saw her in Hello Dolly, did I tell you that?
Yeah, did you? Live?
I saw her on Broadway.
Really?
Yeah, she was.
Her voice, man. Seriously?
Not good.
What? Stop it.
Okay, so no, she wasn't. No.
It's Bette Midler.
She didn't sing well live on Broadway. She did not sing well.
Ever? Or was it just a bad day?
I think she might have been a little tired.
Oh.
But okay, you know the song Before the Parade Passes By? Yeah. Big finale of Act 1. There's a thing that's Bye is a very hard vowel, E. E is a hard vowel to sing when you're singing a belt voice because it closes. E, it's tight. So there's a way to cheat it. Ba, you have to say more of the bye, and then you put the E on at the end. Bye. Okay, well, Bet was singing before the parade passes by.
And it just went?
The ba. She sang before the parade passes by. I was like, okay, she's really changing her vowels. Like she couldn't, her voice sounded very tired. I love Bette Midler, and also, see, she was just kind of like Bette Midler being Dolly. And I guess that's why I went, but I was a little disappointed.
Why?
The show was amazing.
I don't know what you mean, though. It was Bette Midler being Dolly. Well, of course it was.
But she's an actress. She's supposed to like play a character, and I just felt like she wasn't really getting the character.
Oh, I see. It was just Bette with a wig on.
You know, it was like when there's moments in Hello Dolly where the actress is talking to her dead husband, and it's supposed to be like you could bring a tear to your eye, and I never got that. She never got me here.
No,
she never got me here, Bette.
No little goose pimplies.
But it was Bette Midler, so I was excited.
I would have been.
But no, she was, as far as I was concerned, she was outshone by her co-stars, and not David Hyde Pierce, because he was the other. Remember him from Frasier?
He sings.
Yeah, but he also
really
he did Horace Vandergelder. It was like a caricature. Look at me giving a theatrical review. By the way, my show opens tonight at the Grand Gardens Dinner Theater. Death and the Maiden. Come and see the show, and then you tell me what you think of me.
Oh, I'm going tonight.
Are you?
I'm going to tell you what I think of you.
We're going to hear my review tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm nervous.
You should be, because I'll be right at the top.
I've done all I can do, Luann. I've done all I can do.
Oh, there's so much more you can do.
I can interview a guest.
Let's do that.
I'm going to. Hey, Relay for Life is this weekend. This is your last chance to hear about Relay for Life before the big party happens, and it's for life. It's for cancer, and we are walking and raising money and remembering people and honoring the struggle.
It's such an inspiration.
It really is. So that's coming up right after this. Don't go nowheres.
Thousands of people across the country take part in the Canadian Cancer Society's Relay for Life. So join the Relay for Life, and together, let's make a difference.
I'm looking to see if I can find myself in the picture. I wonder if this was last year. This is the Relay for Life picture behind us, and this is Alyssa Garofalo Lake from the Canadian Cancer Society. Thanks for joining us again today.
Thank you for having me again.
Welcome back. So it's coming up this Friday. Oops. This Friday.
Close.
June the what?
7th.
There you go. She knows. Friday, June the 7th, Cora Collegiate.
Yes.
On the track at Cora.
Yes, we need to make sure that people know that we have changed locations.
Right.
So we're at Cora.
Due to unforeseen circumstances.
Yes.
Somebody vandalized something and now you couldn't use the old location.
Yeah.
It's no fault of anybody other than some really nasty people in our community.
Just really, really unfortunate.
Really unfortunate. But okay, you know what though? The spirit will carry us forward.
And you know what? People are excited about Cora.
Well, you said that the numbers have already kind of went boop since the numbers have gone up.
I think it's something about going back to high school, right?
Going back to high school. We're on the track. I was never a track person, so now this is your chance to.
Clearly, me either.
So it's at Cora Collegiate, and it starts what time on Friday?
7. That's our opening ceremony. Our survivor lap to follow.
What's all these people in the yellow? What was that? Was that
those are our survivors.
Those are the survivors?
Yeah, so all survivors that register do get a free survivor t-shirt that they can wear the evening of. So it's a really powerful moment because during that survivor lap, it's just the survivors and the caregivers that are on the track, and it's just a sea of yellow. It's very, very powerful.
A sea of yellow and a lot of heartfelt applause, people cheering as they walk by.
Absolutely. No, it's a beautiful moment for sure.
So that's 7 o'clock is the Survivors Walk. You also do a tribute to people that we've lost to cancer.
Yes, so that's our luminary ceremony, and that's at dusk, so just about 10.
Look at that, Alyssa, look at that picture Michael put up.
Yeah, it really gives you an idea of what...
Do you see all the glowing, those are all the luminaries, right? That's what time?
About 10 o'clock.
Okay, so close to the wrap up, because this year you're going from 7 to 11, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a shorter time frame.
This is a major fundraiser, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The Relay for Life. The Survivor, the Luminary Walk, that's a chance for people to come and honor people that they've lost, friends, family, right?
Yeah.
So the way that works is you purchase...
You can purchase a luminary now or on site.
Okay.
It's $5, and it's either in honor of someone that's been touched by cancer or in memory of someone that you've lost to
So
cancer.
you don't have to. So a luminary can be also be a tribute to a survivor as well. Absolutely. Okay. But the walk itself at that time is in honor of people who've passed.
It's for anyone touched by cancer.
Okay. My bad. Okay. Anyone touched by cancer.
Yes.
Well, that's everybody.
Yeah, so it's
Like
really
who alive on the planet today really hasn't been touched by cancer?
Unfortunately, right?
Right? But we're making strides, but we still need more money. And now, the money that's raised for the Relay for Life, how is that used in cancer research, or is it?
Yeah, it's for the most promising cancer research all across Canada.
And we had Sylvana Spadafora on the show.
She's amazing, right?
She really is. She's really inspiring. Sylvana Spadafora is a local doctor, and she's involved in research, and we do trials here at the Sault Area Hospital. We're one of the communities in this country.
Yes.
It's really a pretty remarkable thing that a community like Sault Ste. Marie has these trials going on.
14 currently.
Really? 14 different trials going on?
Clinical trials just in the Algoma District Cancer Program.
And this is funded by Relay for Life and these sorts of things, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so and it's going to be, you got to remember this is a party. It's a celebration.
It is.
We've got to celebrate because there's advancements being made, research is working, cancers are being beaten, right?
Every day.
Testicular cancer is a good example from this, that was at one time almost a death sentence, and now that's completely changed. The success rate in testicular cancer has improved immensely, and that's through research.
No, for sure. We've
made
great strides.
What kinds of events are going on that people can come and look forward to celebrating?
Well, I want to start off by saying we have our survivor reception at 5.
Oh.
So we're inviting survivors to come early. We have cake, refreshments, all in the survivor tent. It's just an opportunity for them to mingle and for us to honor them for a couple of hours before the event even starts.
Is that like a sponsor? Are people donating the cake and stuff?
Yes. Yeah, we have the cake from Rome's, and Northwood Funeral Home actually sponsors the entire tent. So they usually bring fruit and baked goods and just a number of things, and it's really beautiful in there.
The community response is great, isn't it?
It is.
Supportive sponsors.
We're so lucky.
Okay, so 5 o'clock is for survivors?
Yes.
It's a little reception.
Exactly. And then 7, opening ceremonies, and after that, the survivor lap. We have food on site. Actually, we have pizza from Aurora's this year.
Yes.
We have little Orbits, mini donuts, cotton candy, ice cream.
Is that truck coming?
They're coming.
Oh, you guys, they have a new one. It's a chocolate thing. Try it out.
I'm going to wear my stretchy pants.
All right. You can walk it off. Have one of their chocolate fudge donuts and then walk it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like I said, ice cream, just a number of things on site.
All kinds of food vendors. Okay.
Yeah, and then games.
Games?
So that's another opportunity to get moving.
Games?
Yeah, we have human hamster balls.
No way!
I'm very excited to watch that in the center of the field.
Oh, look at all the bands you have.
Yeah, we have a lot of local artists. We have Kick. We have Flathead Ford.
I love Flathead Ford.
Oh my goodness, Hannah Lindsay.
Oh, Adrian Sullivan. I know him. Adrian's gonna perform. His brother Winston just starred as Shrek, and now Adrian's a great guitar singer and singer. Jillian Katzenbach. 80s hits. Oh, that's right, because it's a whole theme, right?
So Dennis Murphy is going to be playing in between our bands and artists, yes. So we have lots of 80s music to enjoy.
And are you looking forward to people dressing up too?
Absolutely. I'm hoping that people put their entire tent in 80s theme so we can walk by and see that.
See all the okay, and you can come dressed up in your bell bottoms and your disco outfits.
I highly encourage that.
Highly encourage, and big like hairbands and stuff.
Yeah, I ordered my crimper. I'm ready to go. Oh yeah.
Okay, so there's games. So kids. This is family friendly.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a kids tent as well, and we're going to have for the first time this year we have a partnership with Nintendo. So we're going to have a Switch in there, Nintendo Switch. I don't know too much about Nintendo, but it's a lot of fun for kids, and we'll have the big TV set up in there so they can play video games.
Are you gonna? Did you do the mural thing with the?
Yeah, at the 80s dance, we ended up having our graffiti wall, and that'll be along the track on the fence for people to see.
So all people did like all this graffiti and stuff, and it's going to be all out there on display.
Fantastic.
Fun. So it goes 7 to 11, and people can just show up, right? Like you can register though.
You can register.
I think we have
right up until the event.
Is it a web page?
Yes.
There's the address right there. Okay.
Perfect.
So you can go to that web page to register,
or donate,
or even just to donate.
Yeah, register yourself, a team. You can register as a survivor there.
Okay.
Whatever you'd like. If you would just like to buy luminaries, you can do that online as well.
Oh, you can do that all online?
Yeah. Or you can stop by the office, visit me.
You are located on
390 McNabb.
390 McNabb, just before Pine Street?
Yeah, we're on the corner. We're beside the Shell gas station.
Okay, in that little office building on the left-hand side?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the other thing that we want to talk about too is the funds that are going for research. What about for people who are going through cancer who need treatment? Does the Canadian Cancer Society offer any kind of support in that regard too?
Yeah, we have a variety of support programs, including our Wheels of Hope transportation program that actually gets you to your cancer-related appointments.
Wow. Okay. So we're gonna fight this. We're gonna fight cancer.
We are, and we need the community support to do so.
And you know what? You don't have to necessarily register in advance. You can just show up. You can show up and buy a luminary, put it on the walk, right?
Absolutely.
There's all kinds of ways you can help. So come out, be part of the community on Friday at Cora Collegiate, starting at 7 o'clock. If you're a survivor, show up for cake at 5. Thanks for being here, Alyssa.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck. I know how hard you've worked at this. Congratulations. How many years now?
19.
Come on, folks. 19 years. Keep it going. Relay for life. And we'll be back with Luann right after this.
I love women. I love older women, professional women, stay-at-home moms. I love how women put the family first. I love how you're so concerned that I'll get to your husband. You have no idea that I'm coming after you.
Make death wait. Please donate to fund life-giving research, because heart disease and stroke is the #1 killer of women.
What do you wish for? A nice life? Nice things? Or do you wish for something more? A sense of purpose? Do you wish to discover a cure? To write code that cracks an unsolvable question? To further our exploration into space? Or to invent something that changes everything right here on Earth? Well, if that's your wish, make yourself ready. Because when you look back, you'll see that you didn't just make wishes, you realized them.
Relay for Life. You know, lots of changes this year. Things come up that lots of us can't control. She is doing, and they are doing a phenomenal job. So please go support.
She's a one-woman show in Algoma, that Alyssa Garofalo Lake. I'll tell you that. I'm pointing at you, but she was just right there. Anyway, join us at Relay for Life. It's a great cause, and it's a great evening. Totally inspirational.
Yes.
And also join us tomorrow on Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll see you then on Thursday. Bye for now.
Slide Thursday. Have a good day.
Thank you.